Today I'm going to go over what is inside my pack on a usual outing. This is the Everly Stock Half Track pack. I originally intended to do this video on a hike a couple days ago, but I was caught on the wrong side of weather on top of a summit and it just didn't work out. That is some wind. Wow! Pretty windy, my cameras were getting wet, so I just pulled the plug. So I'm going to go ahead and show you what's inside here. Alright, so this pack has Molly on the inside of the flap. I have a backup knife here. It's the Bucks RT, and this one I like a lot because it's thick, it's not going to break on me, and it's also stainless steel, so I can leave it in here for a long time, not have to worry about oiling it up or anything, and worrying about corrosion. This pack is big enough to carry my winter sleeping bag. This one's rated down to 20 degrees. Anything lower, I usually use a fleece liner, which will take me down another 15 degrees or so. And I have tops and bottom set of long johns. And these are pretty important for layering, of course. You can just go for polypropylene, which is a little bit newer, but these were a pretty good price and they're also pretty comfortable. Of course, a spare pair of socks. And I have a pair of rain pants. So these two combined will take me down to about 20 degrees I'm pretty comfortable with. And then I have my combat shirt, so if I'm going to get dirty, I know I'm going to wear this. Plus this summer there was a lot of forest fires and I just kind of made it a habit to keep one of these in here just in case I got into a blaze or anything like that. So that's a good call. This one's made by Mastiff and it cost me about 60 bucks, which was pretty good. A little bit of provisions here, Spam. Not only is it a really good survival food, but I grew up eating it and it's kind of a comfort food. So that's kind of the life I lived as a kid. Also on the inside of this, there's a lot of pockets, and one of the things I keep is an MSR pack towel. And this is really good for drying out your clothes. You can set your clothes in the middle of it, fold it over, and then roll it up and then wring it out, and it'll get it a lot drier than just wringing it out normally. These ones are not very expensive, and this one will dry out your whole body no problem. So instead of carrying a large towel or something like that, I'd choose to carry one of these. In a survival situation, it's also really good. You can just put this on top of a wet surface and kind of blot it, and you can collect a lot of water that way and then wring it out into your container. Also in here, I have a bottle for medicine. In here I have ibuprofen, but I also have just regular allergy medicine because I do suffer from allergies during the summer months and the spring months. So pretty good thing to have. Any medication you need for your heart or anything like that, you should also carry. Oh, and make sure that if it's not in a somewhat watertight container, that you put it in a Ziploc bag. Let's put it right there. Camouflage paint. This is mainly for hunting. Got some good old-fashioned DEET here. This stuff is not the 100% stuff that I normally carry, but the 100% stuff that I used to have, I can't find anymore. But this seems to do an okay job. If the mosquitoes get really bad, I usually just suffer. Even if it's in the summer, I'll go ahead and put on tops and bottoms for rain gear. And even though it gets really hot, the mosquitoes will not get through it. And I have a little thingy of tripwire. Not only is this good for making traps, but if your pack breaks or something like that, this can go through the fibers and then you can bind things back together and then twist it together. It's much like a haywire. So pretty good stuff, very handy to have. So that's pretty much for the main compartment, and let's go ahead and go to the sides. This is a pouch that I added on myself. Obviously it's not the same color, so it's a different company. I'm not sure why Everly Stock has a different color for their coyote, but anyway, this is what I keep my rain poncho in. And I decided to put this in its own separate thing because being in the Northwest, it rains a lot, and usually you want to have your rain gear or your shelter the first thing that comes out of your pack. So having it on the bottom and very accessible was a good option for me. Coming on this side, I have 2 carabiners. These are really good for obviously climbing if you needed to do that, but also it's good for keeping things closed and also keeping your bottle attached to your pack. Right now it's obviously not because I just took a drink out of it, but I use Nalgene bottles. I'm not a huge fan of Camelbacks just for the simple reason, you know, thorns and stuff like that around here can really mess up your day and then puncture one of those. So usually I carry 2, but with this pack setup the way I have it now without an additional pouch, I'm only carrying 1. But there's still a lot of water on the ground, so carrying a bunch of water at the same time is not too big of an issue. With this water bottle, I am carrying a GSI Glacier cup, and this one fits right on the bottom of a Nalgene, fits pretty perfectly, and that just goes right into the pocket. So having a carabiner in there holding the Nalgene bottle keeps the bottle from coming out, but also keeps the cup from falling out as well, obviously. So on the side sleeve, I have a thermarest pad, and this one's good for sitting. So if you're going to be doing a lot of prolonged sitting, if you're hunting or something like that, it's nice because it keeps your ass warm and keeps your body heat from getting lost to the ground. And you saw this fall out and this. These are accessories for my contour camera. Got a couple extra batteries, a few cords, and a few mounts and sticky replacements. And these 2 together do a pretty good job. Between this and what I have here, I could pretty much mount to anything. On the opposite side, this tactical tailor box, I've already did a review on it. I use it to carry my wireless microphone system, which I'm wearing right now. It so far is doing a really good job. It's obviously not the same color, but I plan on spray painting that in the future. In here, I am carrying a pair of ESS sunglasses. These can be used just for wearing around town because they don't look too tactical, but also for shooting. If I have my gun, which I always do, and I want to just go shoot something, I go ahead and put these on. And these are the CDIs and the regular kind, not the enlarged one. And I like it so far. Interchangeable lenses. I usually keep the rose or copper lenses in there because that will do 99% of what I need it to do. So that's that. In here as well, the Survivor Dry Box by MTM. This box is pretty good. I like it a lot. It was kind of a compulsive buy when I got it. I think it was somewhere around $15. I'll put a link in the bottom along with any of this stuff. For about $15, obviously you're not going to get a completely dry box. It's basically weatherproof, so rain, all that stuff. But a complete dunking, it might get a little bit wet. That being said, with the stuff I have in here, the things that are crucial to keep dry, I have it already in a Ziploc bag. So it's a little bit of insurance for that. But this box is cool because it has an extra compass, and I have 3 compasses on me usually at all times, and it has a signal mirror on the bottom. Also, in the very bottom of this case, I have an old inner tube, and this is a downhill thickness tube. And the good thing about this is that if you need a rubber band, you can go ahead and just slice one off. And the good thing about rubber is that when you burn it, it burns black. So if you're in a snowy environment and you need a high contrast signal, you can go ahead, throw a chunk of this stuff in, and it'll burn black. So anyone from the air can see it, and anyone on the land can see it as well. Because when you burn with wood, it just turns out white, and that might be hard for people to see at times. In here, I pretty much just have some toiletry stuff. I have a bottle of biodegradable camp soap. I'm not really brand specific. All camp soaps are pretty much the same. They're biodegradable. They come in about the same size container, and they all clean stuff. I also have a little travel size toothpaste, and I have a toothbrush which I cut most of the handle off of, and I have a contact container for my contacts. So that's pretty much what I got in there. Last but not least is up top in the brain. Right here on the very top, I keep a trauma pack. This one's made by Quick Clot. It has everything that a normal trauma pack will have, but it has a Quick Clot package in there as well. It's pretty important, especially for my job when I'm doing gun stuff or out in the woods doing hunting, that I have something like this, because accidents do happen. Even when I'm wearing my plate carrier while on the job, there is a chance that it might not stop the bullet if it's a high power rifle, or it doesn't cover everything, so you have a lot of other exposed body parts as well. So this is an important thing to have to treat everything from a burn to a gunshot. In this bag I have two-way radios. These radios are cool because not only are these ones rated to like 29 miles, it also has the NOAA weather stations on them, and it also has a backup flashlight as well. So it has a few purposes to them. I also have just my regular headlamp, and I have a set of binoculars in there. So just set that aside. And I have a stove. This stove is pretty cool because it fits in the bottom of a fuel canister, and it folds up pretty small. This one's made by Optimus, and it's their Crux model, and as you can see, it just folds out and then does the do. And this stove will do 90% of what I need it to do. The other 10% is when it drops below about 15 or 20 degrees. That's when the pressure of the canister drops pretty far, and it's hard for me to boil water pretty efficiently. So if I am in a really cold environment, I'll go ahead and switch stoves. But for the most part, this one's a light, compact version, and it does great. All right, so that's pretty much what's in my pack on a normal day-to-day. I'll have a list and links to certain products as well, so you guys can check it out, and hopefully you guys can carry this stuff because it's been serving me pretty well. Let me know what you guys think in the comments. Share with your friends, share on Facebook, and thank you for watching.